What do we have here? We got the BESTECH. I think it's pronounced Nyxie, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll put the name up here. It doesn't really matter. It's a cool knife, and it looks similar to some other BESTECH knives. I think it's because it has the same designer or designers. Oh, Todd and Seth, or maybe it's Seth Todd. I'll put the names up here. It's like two designers. I think they have the same last name, so they're like, I don't know, brothers, sister, brother and sister, mother and father, father and son, some kind of relation. I think. I bet Kendra knows. Kendra, what is their relation?
Searching. Searching.
Okay, well, when you find out, you let me know, okay?
Searching.
I thought you knew everything, right?
Seth and Terrell Todd, of Todd Knife and Tool, are brothers.
Oh, okay, thanks. Good job.
By the way, don't screw up that knife.
Well, I'm going to do a good job on it, so that won't be a problem.
The guy who sent it to you is a cop.
So I don't even know why you would know that.
I have my ways.
It doesn't really matter. I'm going to still do a good job, but how would you even know that?
Cough, cough. Hacking CIA database cough.
Anyway, back to the knife. We're going to do some work on this one. We're going to pretty up the backspacer and the pocket clip. And I'm going to apparently do an extra good job on it because I guess the guy who sent it to me is a cop. Well, let's get this guy apart. I got my T8 here, and a lot of BESTECH stuff is all T8s, which is just great. We can start with the pivot, and we'll see. Carefully take the pivot out so we don't scratch anything. What was that whole piece moving? No. No, it's a captured pivot. It doesn't move, but if you push it all the way out the other side, then it's going to move, which is interesting that it was able to push sort of out the other side somewhat. Let's see, to get the backspacer out, I definitely have to take off one side, so we'll just take off the lock side. I don't think, ooh, that one's kind of loose. Interesting. I don't think I have to take off the pocket clip, except we're going to pretty up the pocket clip, so it's got to come off anyway. Whenever you're taking stuff apart, taking a knife apart in particular, you should have a place. Let's see. Well, that should be it. You should have a place to put all the parts so you don't lose them. Usually I use a little box or something, but a little Ziploc is fine. So have a Ziploc with you and take all the parts off and put them in there. Normally I would take off the steel insert, but I don't really need to because we're not doing anything to the frame, just the pocket clip. So we'll take the pocket clip off. And to keep track of the screws, now I bet these screws are probably the same size as the other body screw. Well, no, actually they look longer. So to keep track of these screws, I'm going to put them right back in the holes that they came out of. And then we won't lose track of them or change them out for a shorter screw and get them confused, because sometimes knife makers will have a short screw for one part and a longer screw for another part. You know, fuck that. Come on, guys. You can figure out a way to make all the body screws, whether they're holding in the pocket clip or whether they're holding in the backspacer or, you know, whatever. They should all be the same size. Now, yeah, an extra short one for the steel insert, I can understand. But the rest, make them all the same size, man. Come on.
Preach, my brother.
You can do it. Let's get this guy off of here. Definitely has some wear to it. Had some use, for sure. Bearings are kind of grubby. We'll get those cleaned up. Let's see, I don't really need to take out the pivot or the washer that's inside. Oh, wait, I need the backspacer. Dum-dum. So it should just pull right off. There we go. So we got the backspacer. I'm going to leave these standoffs in here. No reason to take them off that I can see. And we'll put the bearings in here. We'll clean them up later before we put it back together. So I'm just going to polish these guys up and then put some heat on them and make them look kind of pretty. So they came out pretty good, I think. A little darker than some of the other stuff I've done for him, but I think it came out nice. That's the backspacer there. Little purples in it and some blues and some nice waves and weird stuff. This one kind of looks like, I don't know, splattery stars or something, like the galaxy and stuff. That's what we should call this one, the galaxy and stuff. Good name for it.
That's a dumb name, but they came out pretty good.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. You don't usually compliment my work. Good job. I appreciate it.
The cop probably won't Rodney King your ass now.
No, hopefully not. That would suck, and I wouldn't assume that he would do that. I'm not sure why you would. So let's get it back together. We'll do it in the super fast motion I can do because I have, super knife powers. If you have your knife apart, always clean off the pivot area. No reason not to. And whichever side has the cutout, the blade has the cutout here while the other side is almost flat. The cup, the little taco shell side goes toward that cutout. So it's going to go taco side up off the body. And on the other side, it'll go taco side toward the middle also, and the flat side toward the body.
So taco flat side toward the middle body, got it. That's clear as mud, thanks.
Put a little bit of oil just in that area, that general area of the pivot. I was going to flip that washer. Yeah, I'm not going to flip it. It's got some kind of a weird thing going on this side, like it's not quite perfect on that side. So we'll just keep it on the other side. Well, we got to put the bearing on first, then the washer with the circle cut down, and then let's get this backspace on. Okay, that's your stop pin right here. I don't like to tighten up screws with the blade all the way out into the open lock position. It seems like it puts weird stresses on things sometimes. Like the lock bar might be pushed too far down past where it normally sits against the tang of the blade, like that little cutout where it's supposed to hit, Sometimes that lock bar is overbent. It's supposed to be overbent. It's supposed to go further than it needs to because it has to stop against the blade. But when you have it all apart, now it's fully extended out as far as it can go, and then you start putting it together with it already out too far, and that puts weird stresses on things. So when you tighten everything up, have the blade like halfway, like this. Don't have it all the way out and lock in the locked open position. We are missing a screw. There she is. If you have a nice pretty pivot screw like this one, be real careful that the driver doesn't slip out of its little six-sided hole and scratch something up. Having trouble getting the thread started here. Don't know why. Weird. There we go. Okay, you don't want to over tighten it. That squishes the bearings. Okay, now we just got so that's what the backspacer looks like there on it. Pretty nice. And then we can take out the two screws for the pocket clip. Just be super careful. Just do this stuff super carefully when you're putting together a nice pretty knife so you don't slip with the little driver and jack something up. When you're trying to tighten it, put some pressure into it, Put some pressure into it so it's not able to spin and slip out. Okay, so there we go. That's what well, let me clean it off. It's got a lot of oil on it now for my oily mitts. When you want to clean off the pretty titanium, whether it's Damascus or just anodized titanium like this, alcohol can work. Glass cleaner works. So that's what she looks like, all put together. Oh, also, I forgot to even mention that we did the blade trim as well. I'll show the original I'll get this shit out of the way. Actually, I don't know what the hell I'm doing trying to put a white background behind it. It didn't even make any sense. I forgot to mention that we also did the tip little cut on this thing to make it. It used to be about like this. I'll put the picture of what it normally looks like up above. You can see the difference we did on this little tip trim to make it more aggressive. So now it's got a pointier tip and prettier dressings. And we'll get it back to the gentleman officer who sent it, and hopefully he likes it. And I won't have any warrants out, undeserved. And have a nice day.
If you liked this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more, subscribe to this channel. If you didn't like it, who even cares what a meat sack like yourself doesn't like?